Big up Jack and Dave at the Irish Hotspur sending in the first fan cam, so I hope it's up to standard. Let me know if there's anything I can do audio wise, etc., to improve for the future. First of all, big up for all the content. After finding your channel a few months ago, I'm thoroughly entertained, and it's nice to have a channel relatively close to me in just outside of Belfast to connect. There's not many, Dave will know there's not many Spurs fans around in Ireland, so it's mostly Scousers and United fans, so big up, and Jack as well for the constant content and entertainment and match streams, etc., to keep us all sane in these tough times as Spurs fans. But into the review. Another loss for Spurs, 2-1 at home. What's that, 10 in the league this season, 10 by the January the 4th. It's crazy. 7, 3 and 10, I think our record is, with plus 12 goal difference. It is insane. In a weird way, it's hard to sum up after this particular match, because in previous matches I've been a lot more irate and, I don't want to say passionate, but I've been a lot more expressive. I actually felt like there were some small positives to take from this game, be it Spence having another good game, be it Sergio Reguilón looking decent when he came on in the second half, be it Bergvall, his play for the first goal. But then, for all that, there's the negatives. Solanke getting the most service he's had in the match, which is good, but being very wasteful outside of the goal in the first couple of minutes. Bergvall and Papasar playing themselves into trouble, giving away the first goal right after we'd scored our first goal, piling pressure straight back on us and giving Newcastle a direct avenue straight back into the game. So it's a tough one to digest. I honestly feel that Liverpool, the first leg of the Carabao Cup, will be the final game in Ange's tenure, especially if we get spanked and there's no way back for the second leg. I think the club will then make a change. If you're asking me who I would like, if it's possible in January, to go and get an Iraola from Bournemouth, a Marco Silva from a Fulham, then I think those are the two options you go and get. In terms of the lineup, it was a lot better than I expected, obviously, with news breaking late last night that a sickness bug has ravaged the camp on top of the already mounting injury crisis. When I saw the lineup, I was expecting the worst. We saw, obviously, Brandon Austin making his debut in goal, who I thought played quite well, by the way. It was competent. It was nice to see a keeper come out and claim crosses somewhat comfortably, despite the pressure being put on him. A lot of the Newcastle big centre-halves and Isak were congesting his area for the corners, and he either came and got a solid punch away or drew the foul to get us out of the situation. So I thought big up to Brandon Austin. Don't want to see him going forward, but fair play to him for stepping in the one-off game and not embarrassing himself. But it's just hard to react to another Tottenham result where you kind of knew the outcome before the game had started. Radu Dragusin, I feel the second goal was, I just don't think he fits our system. I know it's kind of unfortunate. He clears the ball away and it happens to bounce right onto Isak and straight into the net. It can happen, but I'm just not impressed with him in our system. And in a back three, he would prosper, much like most of our team, to be honest. But in a high line and system, it doesn't bring the best out of him, and it's bad when Archie Gray looks like the more experienced natural centre-back beside him, the 18-year-old number 6, playing out of position in his first season in the Prem. It's not a good look. Spence, I thought, played well again. Good at left back. Second half, I thought he played some excellent balls into the right hand side, onto Johnson, onto Kulu. So another good performance from Spence. He'll keep himself in the team for now at least, and I think he should. He's deserved that going forward. Brennan Johnson, I don't want to talk much about Brennan Johnson because it frustrates me, his technical ability, his crossing, his passing, his movement, his lack of ability to take on a man. It frustrates me. All in all, I thought the first 20 minutes of the first half we were good, and the last 20 minutes of the second half before the 12th stoppage time we were very good. But we had quite a few chances. Maddison putting one just wide of the post. That pinball chance where Johnson and a few other people had some shots and it just didn't end up going in. But I feel like Newcastle, to a certain extent, kept us at arm's length, and they were relatively comfortable in the last 12 minutes of stoppage time. They slowed the game down a lot. They broke up the play. They made a lot of subs and killed any real momentum we had. I'm not normally someone who likes to go in on the referees. I feel like they do get a tough job, but I feel like today was one of the worst performances I've seen in a long time. Every 50-50, every ball, multiple missed yellow cards, multiple missed fouls. It was a bit of a joke from an officiating standpoint today. In terms of Newcastle's first goal, I thought it would be disallowed personally. I was under the impression over the last few years that any handball in an attacking incident that leads to a goal, whether intentional or not, it does get ruled out. I don't know whether there's been a rule change recently, but it was a big surprise that it got given. I do think, for what it's worth, his hands were by his side and it did get whacked at his hand. It doesn't also help that he's a bugger of a player, isn't he? He's a house. So he showed it today, multiple tackles. He could have had multiple yellow cards, so it doesn't help on top of that. But yeah, once again, big up to Jack and Dave in the community. Let me know what you think, and peace.